Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Lee Hall, here with Jack Fletcher, two Division 1 drivers commentating the action of Division 3, Round 4 of the Zoom Racing League. Welcome. How you doing, Jack?
Pretty good. Excited to see these D3 drivers take on Japan. I think this is going to be one of those races where it's more of a battle of attrition with this old classic style track. If you go off, you're straight onto the grass. So going to be fun today, I think.
I'm going to show you the driver standings very quickly. Axelized in front, BuzzGod right on his heels, 76 and 73 points respectively. We have already started qualifying, so we're going to jump into that in just a second. But very quickly, Jack, any surprises from you this the start of the season thus far?
No, I think things are still kind of sorting themselves out. We've only had 3 rounds so far, obviously. So I think no, it's been pretty close up front and throughout the order. So I don't really see any big surprises. What about you?
No, I think it's going to be a great battle. Red Bull obviously ahead in the constructor standings. We'll see if Ferrari can make up some ground. Meanwhile, into the action, we had an AlphaTauri off the track, and I believe that was Yuki Tsunoda, and it was. So we already got some drivers on medium tires here, Jack. It's pretty interesting to start off on that. Normally you want to set a banker on your softs, but maybe they're confident in their speed and their strategy. Kyle Desmond with the first time in the McLaren at the top of the charts with a 131.0. Sargento De Paz just behind him. The medium runners are a bit slower, obviously, as you'd expect in the softs, but what do you think of the tire strategy here with some guys coming out on mediums early?
I've done a little bit of testing on the softs on a full fuel run, and this track is really hard on the tires. There's obviously with the high-speed corners, the whole first sector is really rough. So I think it's going to be, if there's a safety car, I think it's going to be a one-stop. But if it goes green all the way, I think we're going to see some really interesting tire strategies. So mediums might be the move, but we'll have to see.
All right, we've got some time set. It's the soft runners at the top, but gonna see if we can find this Diamond Man at the start of his lap on the medium tires. He's already done one lap. And he spins in sector 1. That's not gonna do it.
Yeah, it's super easy to clip the inside curb through turn 1 there, or come through out too wide. And actually kind of auto spin yourself on a curb. So
and
that's a really
Slovene barely having to miss him there as he was in the Alpine was in the grass of Diamond Man. That's a little scary when you come up at full speed on a vehicle who's just barely in the grass there. Nonetheless, he's on a hot lap. I'm not sure how affected he was by the distraction as Buffalo Trains has left the session. Hopefully we can get him back in, not having any connection issues. But we'll see. Oh, and another spin from Slovene this time. He's in the grass, and it's Diamond Man who passes him. So this track is presenting some serious issues, particularly at that hairpin. That's the second driver we've seen now spin at the hairpin. It's a difficult corner, causing some issues for these three drivers.
Yeah, it's a super tricky traction zone out of there. Your rear tires are set up for max camber around here for the fast corners, so it's dicey coming out of there for sure.
It's Flosy with a retirement. I don't know what happened exactly. Let's see if we can get to a camera. No, there's nobody. Maybe Diamond Man. Oh, he's just on the track fully. Hit the wall at full speed, trying to round the last corner. The car has just been removed. Yuki Tsunoda really at a full stop. That is a tough start to qualifying for Flosy.
Did get a time in on those mediums, but as a track representative, I think we might see him fall down the order a little bit.
Yeah, not a great start, but as you said, did get a lap in, a decent lap in on the mediums. The second quickest medium runner thus far, although you make a great point. The times should be dropping significantly as we go on. Meanwhile, BuzzGod, we should speak of, doing great. He's got the fastest time by a decent margin thus far, about 7/10 to Marino. The Red Bull driver is proving he's the quickest thus far out there on the track.
Yeah, low 129 is a really solid lap around here, especially in qualifying.
And it's Axelized, his driver champion rival, who's actually in P3, basically 130.0, so he's got about 8/10 to make up, which is a pretty significant gap thus far, but it's still early days here, 10 minutes left in the qualifying session. Here we have Dominman trying around the final chicane, and he clipped the curb with his back end, almost lost the rear. And he does set a time. It is his best time, 131.0 on the mediums, and that is the top medium tire time. He's put 3 laps on those mediums. You're going to start to see a diminishing return there. If you keep putting laps on the mediums, you might as well start on the softs, but still, it's a decent time from Dominman. We'll see if it can keep him in the top 10 on the longer lasting tire.
I think we have Cushy out
Yeah.
as well.
Cushy is out as well. And it's Kyle Desmond who just passed by. I believe the car has already been cleared from the track, but another driver, this track is proving difficult for Division 3. Another driver has lost it and DNF'd the qualifying session. They will still be able to race. But Cushy, the Ferrari driver, unable to set a time, and that's crucial because Axelized needs all the help he can get in the constructors' battle against Red Bull.
Yeah, Axelized up there, and obviously P1 on the standings by himself. Buzz got an OG right behind him, so yeah, Cushy's gonna have to start the recovery drive right from the start there.
I'm not sure if Spanini was on a hot lap, but held up a little bit by the McLaren of Mr. Robot. Spanini yet to set a time for Red Bull. We're going to watch this rivalry ensue here tonight. Yet again between Ferrari and Red Bull. It's a constant battle between Buzzcott and Axelized, and then Spanini and Cushy. To see who can finish on top of the other. Let's throw through this sector for Spanini, but he did set, I believe, a purple Sector 1, so we'll see the time as we have a yellow in Sector 3, the very end of the track. It is a stopped car. Maybe just waiting at the end of the pit lane, I hope, as we finish this lap from Spanini.
Yep, 2 solid sectors there. There should be a pretty decent time.
It is
there
good enough for P2, 129.7. Right next to his Red Bull teammate, Buzzcott.
Yeah, that's looking really good for Red Bull so far. Let's see who else. Spanini actually set a purple Sector 3 on that lap, so.
And he gets into the grass to avoid. I think that's Mr. Robot. Of course, he had to invalidate his time. I don't know if that was held him up or not, but Red Bull, it's been awkward out here a little bit with these Division 3 drivers trying to get out of each other's way, trying not to spin on the difficult, highly technical parts of this track.
Seeing a couple drivers setting another time. Yuki Tsunuru is coming along. He's 3 seconds up on his time right now.
Riding on board with the AlphaTauri driver. Rounds the final chicane. A little bit of wheel spin.
A little bit of a ropey exit, but that DRS, and he's going to go P9. Good lap from the AlphaTauri driver.
Into the top 10, and it's very tight. It looks like he was trying to go again right away, in fact, as Cushy leaves the session. Hopefully he'll rejoin at the start of the race. He's obviously crashed out of the qualifying session. Oh, and he spins, so that's going to abandon this lap. Hopefully not hitting the wall. He's not. He's in the gravel trap. AlphaTauri driver now going to have to wait to rejoin the track until it's safe. I hope.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of these little spins all weekend long. It's so easy to clip the curb, and everyone knows how this game is. It's just auto spin, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
And Marino, currently in P3 in the Alpine, has set a purple Sector 1. So the track is starting to get quicker. Just over 5 minutes left here in the session. Pole position still up for grabs, but Buzzgod currently unchallenged. Got a decent gap to the next drivers. We'll see what Marino has to say about that as he rounds this corner here. Looking much better from the Alpine.
Yeah, keeping it really tidy right now. Got to get through this last chicane. A little bit too much curb through the fast left-hander. Now, traction is critical out of here. He's going to get the traction down well. And he's going to be P2. So good lap from him.
129.5 closes the gap to Buzzgod, but there is still a gap as the yellow in sector 2 is cleared. And we've got a clear track. About half the drivers out on track. Only one has yet to set a lap. It is the Haas of Labib 12. Meanwhile, see if we can ride on board with Sargento de Paz in the Mercedes. Believe who is on a hot lap. He is. Oh, nearly invalidates. Probably needed to use a bit more of the inside curve there. You really want to hop it.
Yep, 4/10 up on his previous time, so.
Sliding around, he is quicker though, far as you mentioned though. Open to work his way farther up in the top 10. For Mercedes. Don't have a lot of Mercedes drivers in the top 10 at the moment. Really just him and Kyle Desmond. On opposing teams. He has to sort of go out of the way of the Alfa Romeo. That was a little awkward there. Buffalo Trace in front of him. The only Alfa Romeo driver on track tonight. Final chicane for Sargento de Paz. And he did manage to improve by almost 5/10, but it only puts him up to 7th. So he made up some good time, but only one place made up. But that could protect him from the drivers who are lower down, Jack.
Absolutely, yeah. Thinking, how much time do we have left? We got 2 minutes, so we'll have time to reset, get another lap in, cool the thing down.
Speaking of Buffalo Trace, he is now on his hot lap down in P15. Oh, and he has to avoid C. That's a little scary, and he's now invalidated. A lot of drivers getting in each other's way here. That is very awkward.
Yeah, I feel like the closing speeds are so fast here, so I think it's a little bit tricky to get out of the way sometimes.
Yes, it is. Here is Actualized, right behind a Haas of Labib. Labib is still trying to set a time, gets out of Actualized's way. Actualized trying to get pole position, but he's invalidated somewhere along the way. And it's another yellow flag in Sector 1. We have a bunch of cars all bunched up. It was Buzzgod trying to pass an AlphaTauri and an Aston Martin. We've got yellow flags in every sector here, Jeff.
Yeah, I think we got just guys just trying, like you said, just trying to get out of the way, really. The tricky track for this, obviously, it's proving to be. So
yeah, you have sort of a similar problem of, real F1 where people are trying to set a very slow cooldown lap, not for the same reasons as you do in real F1, but similar concept of, just reset the mind, reset the tire temps, and don't use a lot of fuel and don't use a lot of tire wear. But it's causing some issues. They're going a little too slow, I think.
yeah, and you can imagine too, like if you're running time trial PSIs, you're only gonna have about 1.5 laps until they're just completely overheated. So temperature is everything here.
Absolutely. You've got 30 seconds to start a lap left in this session. Buzzgod's going to cross the line just trying to secure pole. We're going to ride on board with him. There is a Mercedes stopped on track in Sector 1. We'll see as we approach him if it's an issue. A little bit of slide there from Buzzgotti. That's not ideal.
And I'm just having a peek at Marino, who I don't think he's going to be able to. No, he's not going to have enough time to get around to set a lap. So not really a huge threat for Buzzcott here, other than his teammate.
It is Buzzgod does those corners pretty well. Now through the hairpin, tries to keep it nice and tight on the apex. Awkwardly got a car right in front of him, hopefully not getting too much dirty air. I believe that's a Williams. Getting on the power early and a little too far and into the wall.
Wow. And he's going to keep it running, so didn't DNF it. That's good.
And here comes his teammate. Looking to snatch pole away from him if it's possible. Is he quick enough? Does he have the pace? We're about to find out. He doesn't have much of the track left.
I think he could go pull P2 here, knock Marino down. Got a really good exit out of the final corner. Gonna keep it tight, and yep, he's gonna improve, just edging out Marino.
Wow. That is the
Wow.
narrowest of margins, really. And that is huge for Red Bull, having a 1-2, a front row lockout, I believe, the first time this season for Red Bull in Division 3.
Yeah, for D3 right now, Red Bull has the most wins, most podiums, and most poles, so looking very nice for Red Bull right now.
And that is it. That is your grid. It's Buzzgod on pole. Didn't end up needing to set another lap. His teammate Spanini in the Red Bull alongside. Behind him it's Marino and Axelized in the Ferrari. In P3 and P4, Dominman looking to score big points for Alpine. Marino and Dominman both in the top 5. In the Williams, Barney Godemir takes P6. Kyle Desmond in the McLaren. Sargento de Paz in the Mercedes behind. Meanwhile, Raz and Yuki Tsunoda rounded up the top 10 for Aston Martin and AlphaTauri.
Hugely there, we
We'll
didn't
start on the mediums.
Yeah, I mean, hugely there, we didn't talk too much about Axelize, who is your, current leader of this championship, but doing a great job sticking at P4. He's right there, right where he needs to be, make things happen.
Absolutely. So in the end, no top 10 could swing it on the mediums. They're all starting on the softs, and actually a pretty big gap between, the top few drivers and the rest of the field. I mean, these are some spread out times. I was expecting to see
Yeah, you're
times
right.
a little more
Yeah,
clustered.
yeah, you're definitely right. Actually, I didn't pick up on that either, but yeah, this is definitely a big pace difference from the front to the back. I think honestly, Japan's kind of one of those tracks where I think a lot of people are gonna be struggling just because it's such a tricky track. Wild card race, I guess you could say in a way.
Absolutely. A wild card race, as you say, the perfect opportunity to make up some ground. If you've got the technical skills, primarily in Sector 1, that is where we're going to see some spins, unquestionably. I don't know about safety cars, but if I had to guess, this is a high safety car chance track, if you will.
Yeah,
You've got the
we
house
shall see.
bouncing up and down there on the lower right hand of your screen, if you can see that.
Yeah, they're giving away. They got some illegal
Hydraulics.
active.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that's legal, Jeff.
Well, give them credit. They're trying. If you're not cheating, you're not winning, right?
Yeah, it's only cheating if you get caught.
Exactly.
We'll see what the hydraulics could do for the Haas in the race. And we are about to get underway. Just waiting for some players to load here. And while we're waiting, just a big shout out to the pit crews there and the marshals in orange and white, as you can see them on your screen. The hard work they do standing there the entire race, every single race. Really appreciate all the hard work they put in.
Alrighty, we're gridding up here. Get these tires warm.
All right, we begin the formation lap. We've got Pushy in P18 and an AlphaTauri driver, Corrupt is how I will pronounce that, in P19. No P20, so it is the other Alfa Romeo who is missing.
Yeah, look at those Alpine drivers up there, P5 and P3. They're a little bit far down in the constructors right now, so they're really gonna get a big points advantage here.
Absolutely. Well, interestingly, as you see the pit stop strategy powered by AWS, it is a one-stop strategy, either the soft to the medium or the soft to the hard. Interestingly, only 3 drivers have opted for the medium tires to start this race. It's Bibrai in the Williams, Buffalo Trace in the Alfa Romeo, and Cushy in the Ferrari.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all about feel. This track's hard enough on the softs when you're trying to set a hot lap. So I guess it's just a little sketchy in the mediums. But I mean, if I was P11 down, I think I would try it at least, right? Get on an alternate strategy.
Absolutely, I think it's worth a shot. You know, you can go faster on the softs with lower fuel in the car, I believe, is the theory. And Dominman is holding the pack up. Meanwhile, the first 4 drivers, Buzzcott, Spinini, Marino, and Axelized, are almost... Well, Axelized is already on the grid, I believe, or maybe that's Cushy. Yeah, that is Cushy. But Dominman creating a big gap between him and the rest of the front 4.
Yeah, I don't really know why that's going on, but maybe they're trying to ice the Red Bulls here.
There's not a huge run up to turn 1, but it is a very dangerous turn 1. And you have to think that the Red Bulls are working together here as to not crash each other out of the race at the very start.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got to work together here. If you're starting side by side, turn 1 is so scary. You basically can't go side by side through there. So.
Oh, AWS saying that it's a potential 2-stop strategy. My mistake. Soft, medium is a possibility. If you trust Amazon Web Services. Personally, though, it's in this game on a 50% race, it is difficult to beat a one-stop strategy no matter what it is.
Yeah, I think the one stop, especially if we see a safety car, will be the move.
But a very late safety car may prompt some drivers to put on some soft tires. We'll see.
Yeah, not really sure what we're waiting for here, but I know there was a little bit of some problems with the server. Somebody couldn't get moving. I think it was Cushy there. Yeah, he's saying he's glitched, so I think he might be hanging the lobby.
Yeah, that's not good. I have him in the wall.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll just stay on for now in case it fixes itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not Cushy's grid spot. I don't know where he's going here. Corrupt is also not in the game. It would be really unfortunate to remake. Oh.
There we go. I think we're going to do a remake.
But it may be what we have to do.
Yeah, we're remaking it.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We will be right back with a restart of Division 3. Drivers will be in the same grid spots, but some of them will have some fresher tires, which is nice. Ultimately, though, most of them started on softs anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But it is unfortunate. And welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Zoom Racing League. We're back with Division 3 action. It's Suzuka, Japan, 27 laps. They've already done qualifying if you're just joining us. We appreciate your patience while we sorted out some technical issues with the driver's connectivity. We've got another formation lap for you. Don't worry, they're all fueled up still. The drivers have had to stay with their tire choices, I believe. Although we have some different selections. I don't know if that's going to be allowed, but we have two different selections that I'm seeing. Siggy was on the softs, I believe, and now he's on the mediums. And Cushy was on the mediums, and now he's on the softs. So we'll see if there are any penalties for that, but perhaps there was some sort of issue where the drivers were not able to select their tires properly.
Yeah, I believe that is a time penalty for put on after the race, so we'll see. But I think maybe it's just a top 10 they do it for. I think maybe the bottom 10 can do whatever they want.
Well, that's true. They all, I mean, they could have just simply made a different decision. Not a big deal. Buffalo Trace just joined. Hopefully no connections problems for him. Not as big a gap, not really any gap comparatively, from Dawn Man, who in the last formation lap had built up a very large gap between himself and the top 4 drivers. I guess he's just like thinking to himself, let's just get this on. Get this race going.
Yeah, I've said it a few times before, but just like when this happens and you just gotta wait, and all you want to do is get the race underway. It sucks. Definitely makes you more antsy.
Absolutely. If any of the drivers were nervous in anticipation, a break like that maybe helped, but probably not. We'll see. The Haas's over there are the slow ones this time. Both of them actually creating some big gaps. It shouldn't be too much of an issue though, because most of the field is going to line up on the grid. It's just sliding around Labib in P13.
Not seeing any issues with the grid. Everybody pulling up straight. Nobody in the wall, so.
Yes, Cushy not in the wall this time. That's good. Get to his grid spot. 19 drivers on the grid. BuzzGod in pole position. It's a Red Bull lockout, as we said before. And they're about to get underway. 5 lights, and they're off. It's a quick start. And already a bit of chaos weaving in and out of McLaren. It's a Red Bull 1-2 pretty comfortably. And Marino dropping down the standings. Oh, and a bunch of drivers colliding up and down the field.
Yeah, Marino had a really bad start up the line there, started falling back. Both the Red Bulls had a great start, basically were well ahead of the pack going into turn 1 there. Had a really sketchy moment. I think it was Barney Goatmere got on the inside. I believe it was Kyle, and they just touched wheels, and he barely saved it. Did a great job.
Got some wheel-to-wheel action. It's Marino, and oh, Siggy into the wall, creates a collision. They all slid. And now they have to wait for everyone to rejoin the track. Buffalo Trace and Cushy also, maybe some contact there as well. Chaos on the first lap of Suzuka. Meanwhile, we've already got a gap between the top 5 and the rest of the pack. It's Axelize who's made his way up 1 position to P3. And it's a long battle ahead of him against both the Red Bull drivers, which he'll need to overtake to retain his top spot in the driver's standings. try to see, Jack, if we have some drivers with some damage.
Yeah, we got Marino currently limping it back right now. So got a broken front left end plate, I believe.
Looks like most of the current top 10, I should say, are clean of damages. For Rub, the reserve driver is already up 9 places in the Alfa Romeo, doing very well to start the race. And Flosi has left the session, but not out of the session, so hopefully not a bunch of connection problems for him. We've got 3 in the pits. It's Flosi number 1, Marino number 2, and Raz and the Aston Martin number 3. All of them with damage. Meanwhile, Buzzgod has built up like 1 second gap to his teammate Spanini that will, interestingly, Jack, perhaps leave him vulnerable next lap with DRS enabled, because Axelize is only 0.8 seconds away from Spanini, his teammate, when we've got a yellow in Sector 1.
Yeah, I think that's going to clear itself. Yeah, I think that's what Axelize is. He's burning through his battery right now. He's just trying to stay within that 1 second gap of Spanini, keep that DRS, and keep him up with the front runners. It does seem like Axelize does have a little bit more pace on the straight, so I think he might be running a little bit lower wing settings than Spanini is.
And you can see Spanini using all the track there, having to use all the track there. And Axelize burned through most of his battery, as you mentioned already. He's going to receive no help from Buzzgod whatsoever, at least as far as DRS is concerned. Axelize is moving his way through Sector 1 pretty quickly, catching up to Spanini. Looks like the Ferrari driver may have pace on the Red Bull, but the question is, how quickly can he get by in order to challenge Buzzgod in P1?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game simulates 15 or 20% dirty air or something like that. It's a lot lower than real life, but this track especially, you're going to feel it through Sector 1 for sure. You're going to get all that dirty air. It's going to rip up your tires.
Absolutely. It is not a friendly track for tires. Meanwhile, it's Barney Godmer in P5 trying to catch up to Kyle Desmond in the McLaren in P4. That gap between Kyle and the front 3 is already more than 3 seconds. So we've got a 3-horse race to start the Grand Prix here.
Yeah, Axelize doing his job here, stayed up close, he's going to have the DRS.
And we've got Kushti, who went around in the Ferrari. He was stopped on track for a minute, able to right the ship. I'm not sure he has damage. It doesn't appear as though he has damage, but it is an awful start for the Ferrari driver. And he is now slowing down even more. I'm not sure what's happening.
See him throwing the wheel left to right. Looks like in some sort of frustration.
And now wheel to wheel with the Alpine. I don't know what's happening with his car. Maybe some engine problems. As Marino gets by him. Maybe that power unit is done for.
Spanini just crucially picked up a 3-second penalty, I believe.
Oh, he did. Track limits, was it?
Yeah, 3 seconds, so it would have been track limits.
And
He's at 3 warnings.
A couple of yellow flags out there. I think they're going to clear themselves. One of them is still Cushy in the Ferrari, who appears as though he's not going to be able to help with the constructor's battle whatsoever today, unfortunately for him. Perhaps an equipment malfunction from Ferrari. Nevertheless, Axelized, if he can stay on Spanini, it's a guaranteed P2. However, he wants more than that. He would love to get around the second Red Bull driver in order to challenge Buzzgod, but for now, Buzzgod has a nice buffer, and in fact has just led his teammate perhaps right back into DRS range. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but he's very, very close to being in DRS range.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're doing, which is a really good job, which is a really good idea. So obviously Buzzgod, because Spinini is an OG, right? Spinini's reserving today.
Yes, I believe that
Okay,
is.
so OG hasn't changed his name. Okay.
Yes, he is reserving. So, while we thought that was a great idea, he's now 1.4 seconds out of Buzzgod's time. So I don't know if that is the strategy after all. Perhaps because he's a reserve, Buzzgod is not going to lend him the same type of assistance he might lend to OG, who is the normal driver in that seat and who has had a pretty solid season to start. But it would be a good idea, Jack, to use the DRS, use each other to try and pull away and create a more than 3-second gap between them and Axelized to render that penalty meaningless.
I think we might see him get back to time enough so that it just goes through the detection zone. Maybe not. Doesn't look like it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kyle Desmond just 4/10 back of Barney Goldmere in the Williams. Oh, a lot of sliding from both of these drivers already. We're only on lap 6. Are the tires already giving out? Barney Goldmere leaving on the track, trying to break the slipstream, but it's Kyle Desmond who's going to pick up that DRS. Plenty of battery left. Oh, but he goes very wide. Great save. Not to lose the car in Sector 1. It is the most technically difficult sector of the track. And catching some dirty air, finding it difficult, is Kyle Desmond. But a strong showing thus far from the McLaren driver.
Yeah, it's such a rhythm-dependent section of the track. Once you get out of your rhythm, wow, he went wide again.
He did, and this has now caused Dominman to start having ideas of his own. And he is right on the gearbox now of the McLaren. The Alpine. Thinking about getting on the battery and trying to get by. These three drivers are in for a long battle, I think.
Yeah, I was watching Dominant Man in qualifying. He was setting some really strong sector times, but just struggled to put it all together into one lap. But definitely showing some good pace this weekend.
About the same gaps up front. So we'll have a look at the AlphaTauri Yuki Tsunoda, who's just 5/10 back of Sargento de Paz. He's been close all day as well to the Mercedes driver, unable to get by them so far. And that is a battle for P8. Go back to Kyle Desmond, who is extremely close to Barney Goldmere. And the reason for that is because Barney went very wide into turn 1. It is not the ideal start to sector 1, but it is not a passing zone. So the McLaren driver having to back off, and now Dominman hot on his heels.
Yeah, Kyle kind of faked him out into turn 1 and made kind of Barney flinch, and he ended up going wide through sector 1 there. So I think it's going to be close next time they come around with DRS here.
It's proving pretty difficult for drivers to pass here, even to follow. Where do you think? Oh, Kyle Desmond has made contact with Barney Goldmere. He braked a little late. Hopefully the wing is not damaged for Kyle Desmond. But he is right on the gearbox. And we are watching on from Dominman's perspective. Where do you pass here, Jack? What is the ideal place? It seems like even with DRS, they're not able to get close enough to get by the driver in front.
I think it's just a matter of trying to hang on, fight through that dirty air, that whole lap, to just get that one DRS zone right. I think he's close enough here that he's going to get him.
We'll see. You need a great exit here. He takes a lot of the curb and spins a little bit. And speaking of spins, Dominman almost met the wall, the pit wing wall. We see a lot of weaving, and Kyle Desmond is by Barney Goldmere, but he's got the inside. Goldmere is going to have to slam on his brakes, even though he had a better angle, to avoid contact.
Yeah, you have to think everyone's probably running somewhat high wings around this high downforce track, so that DRS is going to make such a huge difference.
And it's the start-finish straight where we have our first, you would say, proper overtake of some of the top drivers here. And Barney is not relenting. He is sticking on the gearbox of Kyle Desmond, thinks he's got the pace, wants the position back. Kyle Desmond positioning the car very defensively, sliding around, starting to lose the rears.
Whoa! I think Dominant Man just went around behind them.
He did. Does he have damage?
No, I think he just went for a little 360 there and kept going. So.
Well, the battle for P4 is now a 2-horse race. As Dominant Man forfeits his chance at the position, at least for the moment.
Yeah, Barney's gonna have DRS here. Just need to look set up the last corner here. Got a good exit. He's gonna have a great exit.
Oh, he's right behind him.
And he's gonna. Yeah, ooh, looks like Kyle's got some decent straight line speed. Barney's gonna try around the outside. That's risky. They're gonna touch.
Wheels. And that's caused the. Oh no! Yeah. McLaren into the wall, nearly avoided by the Alfa Romeo. A lot of contact between the two drivers. Barney Goatmere picks up a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, Corrupt in the Alfa Romeo up 15 places from the start. What a drive from him. We'll come back to that later. Yellow in Sector 1, I believe.
Levine?
That's Levine. It is. He's hot tires right into the wall. Not out of the race yet. Needs to wait for those tires to cool down. Meanwhile, Marino is coming in hot right behind him. Oh, and a little bump there. Marino in the grass, gets by Slovene. Slovene might want to consider just getting off of those tires.
I think he's might have some front wing damage there. It's going real slow. But yeah, speaking of tires, I think what, lap 11 the game said, as we see Buzzgod going to the pits. Switching onto those mediums, going early. Gonna have to make those mediums go pretty much 18 laps.
Yeah, that is nice and early. Spanini takes over the lead. Barney Goatmere in P2. Corrupt is gonna be in the podium places from all the way at the back of the field. The reserve driver doing well for Alfa Romeo.
Crucially here, Buzzgod's going to have traffic in front of him. He's not come out in clear air, so could definitely screw up his undercut effort here.
Absolutely. He's got much fresher tires, which will give him a nice pace advantage. Got full battery, but he's come across a battle between Sargento De Paz and Dominant Man. Dominant Man looking to make up the places he lost earlier. You would think that these drivers will pit soon, but still, how soon? And oh no! Buzzgod having to narrowly avoid a collision with Sargento De Paz in the Mercedes. Squeezing him out, Buzzgod does make up the place. And now Dominant Man in front of him. About a second and a half up the road. Axelized as well on the mediums. Back in P9, he's got traffic to fight through as well. Yellow in Sector 1, it's another Aston Martin. This time it's Raz, and Cushy is out of the race. I apologize, I don't know when that happened, but I don't think it was a terribly long time ago.
This is Spunini in the pits on the fresh mediums. I think Barney's going to stay out one more lap. Yes, he is.
So Barney inheriting the lead with the 3-second time penalty. Kind of unfortunate as he was kind of hit into taking the time penalty. Still, contact both ways. And I think he may have come out the better of that one as Kyle Desmond, he's pitted, but he dropped down several places due to the contact. A yellow in Sector 1. Who is it? It's Corrupt, who spun around. A great day from him, but perhaps taking the soft tires a bit too long.
Yeah,
He's
thank
lost
God
it
for
in Sector
ghosting. Yeah, he was right in the middle of the track as Buzzgod and Dominant Man went through there.
Speaking of Buzzgod, it's another yellow in Sector 1. It's an Alpine. And that is Marino in the gravel. So we saw the issues at the start of the race. And now we're seeing the issues in the middle of the race with the tires wearing out. As the Haas gets by. Back to Buzzgod, who is a 10th behind Dominant Man. Looking to get by him. Oh, Dominant Man. A little bit of a break there. Really strange to break at that position. Thankfully, Buzzgod with a great reaction does get around him. Dominant Man maybe just hoping for some DRS, but a little bit dangerous there, I would say.
Oh, sketchy. See if he's gonna get him back here. I think he might be too far back.
He is indeed too far back. Risking a lot running on those curves. Axelize back up to P5. So you're starting to regain the old order of things after the round of pit stops. Axelize with a ton of work to do to make up the ground to the Red Bulls, though. Meanwhile, Buzzgod putting in some good sector times out on track. And looking to put his head down and pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, currently Axelize seems to be the fastest guy on the track, so.
But stuck currently behind Sargento Depart.
Yeah, he's yet to pit. We could probably see him in this time along with Dominant Man.
Speaking of Dominant Man, he's got another Red Bull behind him in this part of the track again. This time he's not going to concede for DRS. Is he coming into the pits? That's going to be the question.
I would think
And
so,
he is indeed
yeah.
coming into the pits. Buzzgod sets the fastest lap. No surprise there on the fresh mediums.
So that sets up your top three, and crucially now Axelize 5 seconds behind Spanini. He's gonna be trying to hunt him down here.
That's right, and that he finally has free air, but that is the difference. The Red Bull drivers had better traffic, less traffic in front of them than the Ferrari, and that's caused Axelize to find himself a good distance behind the two. Meanwhile, we do have an on-track battle. It's Siggy, who's fought his way back up to 10th after having a difficult start of the race. It's Corrupt, who spun, made up a ton of places, and then spun. Still a good net of P9 if he can keep it. Oh, but Siggy's so slow through Sector 1 by comparison. He was a few tenths back, and now he's a full second, just like that. And it's Corrupt who's on the gearbox of Sargento De Paz in the Mercedes. The two Mercedes drivers creating a little sandwich as Corrupt thinking about going around the outside on the fresh mediums.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of pace today just with that little spin. He's back in recovery mode now. He's on the DRS.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna go for it there, but I think he's gonna sit and wait for the DRS zone.
Yep. Looks like he'll wait for the DRS. Oh, Sargento. A little bit of wobble there, and he does not have the best line. And Corrupt thinks about just sending it on the inside, thinks better of it. And that's actually given Sargento De Paz a better exit here, or at least a more of a cushion. Nonetheless, Corrupt is going to be able to go wheel to wheel here.
He's gonna keep it on the inside. We're gonna keep it side by side, keeping it clean. And And he's gonna just edge him out.
It is clean, and he gets the pass done. In Sector 1, that is a risky part of the track to pass because driver can lose stability and smash into you, take you both out. Meanwhile, Dominant Man on the gearbox again of Kyle Desmond. This is deja vu.
Yep, these guys been fighting hard all race. It's got a long way to go as well.
Absolutely, we are just about halfway through, a little more than halfway through this race here in Japan. We're gonna see what Dominant Man can do.
Ooh,
We have an AlphaTauri. It's Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, that's rough. He was having a really, really strong race. He was up to P8 there. He still got some time here to get some of those spots back.
Oh boy. Oh, the bang wheels. Mr. Robot sends it deep on the inside of Tsunoda. Meanwhile, Flosi is going to take full advantage of this situation and perhaps say goodbye to both drivers using all his battery. And there's nowhere for Yuki Tsunoda to go. And oh, they bang into each other. Mr. Robot sent flying off the track by Flosi. And it's Labib who's DNF'd. And do we have the first safety car of the race? I'm surprised we haven't had one already. It's the Haas on the start-finish line. Slovene takes another penalty for track limits. Amazed there has not been a safety car thus far. But we have a car.
I believe he's in the pits,
Oh,
actually.
he is in the pits. So has he perhaps retired in the pits? Oh, Dominant Man very close to Kyle Desmond there. Full battery, essentially. Gonna look to get past him on the start-finish straight with the DRS. And that is why you don't have a safety car. He was in the pits, as Jack pointed out.
Dominant Man here, gonna have the DRS again. Kyle with a great exit though.
Yeah, Dominant Man went very deep before the final chicane. Kyle weaving to try and break the slipstream. Takes that curve very riskily. Nevertheless, it's the McLaren still managing to stay in front for now.
An interesting little battle here for Pete. I believe that's 10, yeah. 3 drivers all close together.
Yeah, you
But
are
for
correct.
sure, Dominant Man is sticking behind
Oh,
Kyle there.
Yuki Tsunoda goes off the track, collides with the wall, lost the entire wing. Serious damage. It was just dirty air. There was no contact as far as I could tell. And he's gonna go half all the way around the track. This is a disaster for Yuki Tsunoda and the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, it's a really big bummer there. He was doing so well. Just gonna hope for
Meanwhile,
a safety car.
Dominant Man, 2/10 behind Kyle Desmond again. In this part of the track, he's quicker, but he picked up a 3-second time penalty, so now he's gonna have to get moving in order to clear a 3-second gap to the car behind if he wants P5.
Yeah, Dominant Man was about double the year as Kyle, so it's a pretty easy overtake here. Kyle with a pretty decent exit again. Dominant Man's gonna have to do some work. Try around the outside. I think he's gonna get the job done well before the corner here.
Job is done. And now the long, hard work ahead of building a gap in order to render his penalty meaningless begins for Dominant Man and the Alpine crew. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. It was just Yuki Tsunoda trying to get out of the way with no wing, trying to get back to the pits. And we are going to see Dominant Man trying to build up a gap here. He is doing a good job thus far, already at second. In fact, so he does have the pace on Kyle Desmond. We'll see if it's consistent. or if Kyle Desmond can stay in the DRS range of Dominant Man and sort of hang on to the back of the Alpine. Meanwhile, it's a battle between two teammates. Siggy gets a much better apex on the corner there on the hairpin. Sargento deposits in front of him. Buzzcocks at another fastest lap out front in front. Siggy just 4/10ths back from his teammate. Maybe getting a little held up here.
Yeah, you got to get the team orders in. Whoever's faster can just go ahead. Just watching Kyle, just trying to keep up with Dominant Man. He's trying everything, using every inch of that track. Managed to get the DRS as well.
Did he? Yeah, it is critical for him. And we have another yellow in Sector 1, but it's quickly cleared. Kyle trying to maintain that second gap. Here is Sargento Depas with his teammate right behind him. Definitely seems like Siggy might have the pace advantage, but perhaps not enough of an advantage to meaningfully get by Sargento. And so you have the Mercedes holding position. Yellow in Sector 2. Who is that? It is Kyle Desmond.
Kyle.
Who's been around it. Oh my goodness, thankfully. As the two Mercedes drive through a ghosted McLaren. I thought it was going to be a collision of epic proportions for just a second.
That could set up a spicy battle with Kyle coming through Ziggy and Sargento. So.
That's right, he's got to cool the tires first to make sure he's got no wing damage before he gets after the two Mercedes. But yes, he clearly does have a pace advantage on those two, trying to get back to P7. And this time, Siggy is very close to Sargento. And Sargento with a little bit of losing the rear there, a little wheel spin. Oh, and Siggy goes into the pits. I'm gonna bring up the tires here.
It's on. He was on 15 lap old mediums.
I see. So the undercut, perhaps, is what's on the cards for Siggy if he thinks Sargento needs to pit again, his teammate. But Sargento only on 5 lap mediums.
I think Ziggy was involved in an early incident and had to go into the mediums earlier than he wanted to. Maybe he was hoping for a safety car.
So no safety car, somehow, some way. We had the collisions, we've had the crashes and the DNFs, but no safety car thus far. And it's the two Red Bulls still out in front. Back to Buzzcocks, who is quietly putting in the laps and maintaining a solid lead here. Spanini has made up a little time on him in the past couple of laps, and we have an Alpine stopped on the track. It's Dominant Man.
It's Dominant Man, yeah.
Oh, and the tires are red hot.
Yeah, he must have went for a huge spin there. That's a really fast section of the track.
So that's going to make things interesting. Corrupt, by the way, the reserve, moves up into P5 just by virtue of everyone else spinning. It's Axelide pitting. He had a free pit stop other than Barney Goldmere, who he does cede position to. And he's going to have fresh softs to... Oh, actually, he's given up his position to Corrupt, too. I'm not sure what Axelide is thinking.
I missed that, actually. Give me a second. I'm not sure how old his tires were. Oh, he
Little flag in Sector 1, it's Yuki Tsunoda, who is currently in P17.
Maybe Axelide thought he could get the fastest lap and get Corrupt back, because he'll be on the pressure tire here as well.
It does seem inevitable that he will pass Corrupt, but he's given up 2 places here at the moment. And that is worth more than 1 point, that is for sure. So we'll see what the plan is for the Ferrari driver.
With Barney too, with the 3 seconds. I believe he's just got 3 seconds. Yep. So I guess Axelize only has to get that close to him if he keeps it clean.
That's true, but he's running out of laps to do so. How much faster will those soft tires be once he gets past Corrupt, if he can get past Corrupt? Corrupt has not been slow here today, the reserve driver.
Yeah, it's ballsy if that was a strategy call, but see if he makes it work. See, another yellow.
It's what is that? Buffalo. Buffalo in the gravel. Yelled at Alfa Romeo. Somebody on the track near him.
Cryptid. Wow, Cryptid just had a huge snap of oversteer, managed to save it, but kind of just got out of the way for Axelize there.
Oh, and speaking
That could
of
have been a huge moment.
Moreno.
So there you go, Axelize gonna get the easy pass. He's got to run down about 9 seconds on Goatmere here.
Yep, we'll see how quickly he can make up those gaps in the next few laps. Meanwhile, we've been setting up the battle between Sargento De Paz and Kyle Desmond. There's about a second separating them. Can the McLaren driver make up the place he lost earlier? So far, he's only able to get about a second away from him, but here he is closing the gap here in the final sector of the track. Not going to get him this lap unless something drastic happens. Sargento is going to get a bit of dirty air from the back markers. Oh, and Sargento a little wide there, steps into the grass, if you will, with both the rear and front right tires. Not what you want to do, but Kyle Desmond not quick enough to take advantage.
Yeah, Sargento had the DRS from the lapped car, so that helped him as well.
Absolutely. It's a big advantage.
Watching here, Ziggy's real close to Mr. Robot. Thinking about making a move here. Mr. Robot's going to be on the ERS. Doesn't look like Ziggy can even get close.
Yeah, a little late movement there from Robot, but not much of it. So as he goes a little wide on the curb there, Ziggy on those soft tires looking to get by, but this is not a passing zone.
I was surprised to see Ziggy so slow on the straight in the slipstream with the DRS.
Oh, he's got a massive pace advantage, but he doesn't feel comfortable enough to try and get by Mr. Robot. You can tell. And Mr. Robot very wide, and oh my goodness, there are cars flying everywhere here.
Yep, just trying to get around him here cleanly. I think Mr. Robot's just going to get out the way, yeah.
Interestingly, Jack, Siggy's fuel light has come on.
I think yellow means he's good, though, right? It's only when it's red he's
I think
I'm not
yellow
sure.
is you're gonna run out before the end, isn't it?
I don't know.
Red
so
is you have
you're
less
right.
than a lap.
Yeah, wow. Maybe he's got to do some fuel saving then, yeah.
Perhaps that could have been one of the reasons he pitted again. Try and save some fuel.
Right. Yeah, maybe underfueled it for a safety car.
Meanwhile, Kyle Desmond's gonna take another shot at Sargento De Paz. Oh, thought about sending it up the inside, but Sargento kind of closed the door, and not a lot of confidence from Kyle Desmond that he'd be left any space.
That's got to be one of the most nuts corners in F1. Like, you're going into turn one, and you're, like, basically turning in while you have your DRS flap open, so super, super sketchy through there.
Absolutely. As the tires wear down, it becomes even more sketchy. Sargento missing that apex, and going very wide, Sargento into the gravel. He's lost the place to Kyle Desmond. Not exactly what you call an on-track overtake, because Sargento was not on the track.
He just did a pretty awesome save there. Pulled a Valtteri Bottas in qualifying. He did a great job. He's spinning for about 5 seconds there, so way to keep it going in the right direction.
Yeah, he's only lost one place, which is, all things considered, not so bad. Meanwhile, Spanini continues to make up little by little the time to his leader and teammate Buzzgod in P1. We'll check back on that in a few minutes to see if that gap continues to shrink. Maybe Buzzgod taking it nice and easy out there in front.
Having a look at Axelize here, he definitely is pulling. He's definitely getting closer to Goatmere here. So it's gonna come right down to the last lap if he's gonna be able to get within that 3-second window.
Yeah, the time is ticking down to the Williams driver, but he needs to get it within 3 seconds, and he needs to stay off the bad parts of the curbs to avoid time penalty himself. Got a yellow in sector 1. You know who it is. It's Yuki Tsunoda.
Just for a little lazy spin there, he's all right. Kept the bits on it.
Oh, but the tires are very hot, and he's facing the wrong direction. A disappointing ending to the race for the AlphaTauri driver. He had a great start, worked his way deeper into the top 10, up the order, but ultimately it was not to be.
Yeah, just seen Sylvain have a problem there in sector 1. Unfortunately, he's got to do the long trek all the way around the racetrack with no front wing, so it's a crappy way to end your race there.
That is unfortunate. Yes, he is missing the right end plate, going very slow, the Aston Martin. Got a long ways to go into the pits. Meanwhile, Spanini is catching up to Buzzgod. Only a second and a half away now, and we're going to ride on board. He almost spins, actually, though. Perhaps a little bit of dirty air caught finally from his teammate as Buffalo Trace picks up a 3-second time penalty down in P16 for track limits. Buzzgod probably managing the tires and taking it easy out in front, but still, he might have to step up the pace a bit if Spanini continues his charge.
Yeah, I don't think, I think Buzzgod's got it under control. He's just taking it easy.
You would not imagine a great fight between the two teammates, especially since Spanini is a reserve for OG, and they are teammates, but as I say, the gap does continue to shrink. 2 laps remaining for Buzzgod and the leaders. We've got a yellow in sector 1. It's Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, everyone pretty spread out now.
Everyone except Spanini, who is very nearly in the DRS of Buzzgod. Now, he does not have time to make up a 3-second gap. There's really no question about that unless Buzzgod makes a major mistake, but Buzzgod could, of course, get a penalty of his own. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, have the bragging rights of winning on track, and yeah, you're right, Buzzgod could make a mistake here.
Well, Axelized, it's going to be very tight if he can make up enough time to Mr. Goatmere to get on the podium. I'm not sure he can do it with just a lap and a half to go.
I think the telemetry is a little bit broken, but Buzzgod is on 2 warnings, I believe, so you better be careful.
There you go. Although he was assisted by a DRS from Yuki Tsunoda, the lap car. So that's a big help, and Spanini now back to his 1.4 seconds away from Buzzgod on the timing charts. Interestingly, as Sylvain picks up another time penalty, Corrupt is actually closer now to Axelized than he was a few laps ago. So the soft tires may be getting a little worn for Axelized, and in fact he's making up very little time to Barney Goatmere in P3. So Barney looking to have himself a great day on the podium. Let me check the penalties though. Yes, it is just 3 seconds for Barney Goatmere. So if he can keep it up, he's got a 1.5 cushion at the moment. As Spanini is now well in the DRS range of Buzzgod. On the final straight of the track, I think Buzzgod might just be taking it easy though. They want to finish together. It does appear to be the case. And Buzzgod will win. The Japanese GP smashes into the wall. You probably don't want him to be doing that. But he's crossed the line. Spanini in P2. A great job from the reserve driver. And it's a very slow AlphaTauri. Gonna retain P17. It's Barney Goatmere rounding out the podium places in the Williams. A great drive from him. Very consistent. Very stable. Axelized P4 nearly made up all the time on the soft tires with the penalty. Corrupt. Starting from the back of the grid, the reserve driver in the Alfa Romeo takes P5. A wonderful drive from the reserve. Might have a future in this league with a drive like that. Dominman P6. Kyle Desmond just 1.1 seconds behind him. A great battle from those two all day. Sargento crosses the line in the Mercedes in P8. His teammate Siggy, who is driving next to him most of the race, in P9. Rounding out the top 10 will be Mr. Robot in the McLaren. And the rest of the drivers had a difficult day. They were not consistent. They were not able to take advantage of the mistakes made by their counterparts. And there you go. There is your Japanese Grand Prix, all wrapped up in a bow. Division 3 is in the books.
Yeah, gonna be your driver of the day. I think that's rightfully earned. He pretty much came through the field twice, so really good job by him.
A little bit of cowboy celebration there from Buzzgod. It's another dominant performance from him. And he retakes the Drivers' Championship lead. I think he had it previously, but Axelized had held on to that position until now. And it's a double podium for Red Bull. And a P1 and 2 for Red Bull after the front row lockout. So a dominant performance from the two of them.
Absolutely. That's just going to buff the constructors for them. Mercedes having a good day with the 8th and 9th, so they'll score some decent points today. Crucially, though, Ferrari, with just Axelized up there, really scoring some decent points. They're going to fall a little bit further back from Red Bull as well.
Absolutely. A difficult day for Aston Martin. And McLaren probably could have gotten some more points, but they do both finish in the points. Alpine as well could have had both points finishers, but Dominman is able to get P6. A tough day from Haas and Ferrari as well. Perhaps not maximizing the points they would have liked to maximize. I believe we have some interviews.
Let me see.
As we're going to display the driver standings prior to this race. So you can see that Buzzgod clearly out in front now of Axelized.
Just seeing if Goatmere wants to get in here. If not, we can take Spanini.
No Goatmere. That's all right. Let's get Spanini in here.
Alrighty.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Going well.
Congratulations on your P2 there. Solid lockout for Red Bull. 1-2. Walk us through your race. How was it?
Um, at the beginning, I guess I was a little worried about Axelized. He was within my DRS. He was gaining like pretty much sector 1 and 2, but I would just pull away on that final chicane. And then the moment we kind of broke out of when he broke out of DRS for me, it was just kind of just a normal race after that because he just kept slipping behind slowly and slowly. But other than that, it was a pretty controlled race. Pretty boring, honestly. So, but yeah, other than that, it was a decent race. I'm happy there's no safety car because I had a 3-second penalty, and that would have probably been bad for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were surprised that there was no safety car. There were probably enough collisions and DNFs for one, but coincidence, we didn't have one. That was great for you. Was there any thought in your mind of winning the race as you were, obviously Buzz got out in front, probably taking it a bit easy, but you were catching up to him pretty quickly in the final few laps.
Yeah, I think he had a lot more tire wear than I did, like 20% more. So like towards the end, I was still on like cruise control, like just trying to finish, and I realized I was gaining. I was like, I don't think I was gonna try to attack him just because like we were 20 seconds ahead. I really don't want to mess anything up. I'm also a reserve, so I can't let that happen. But yeah, I got closer and closer, and we gave it a good finish. So that was good. And Buzzgod was really fast today. Like you could see in the qualifying, he was 0.3 faster, and in the race too, he was pretty quick. But I think the tire wear kind of caught up to him. That's when at the end I was like gaining on him.
Yeah, man. Well, great job. Did a fantastic job. Did your job as a reserve. So hopefully we'll see you again, man.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good day.
Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you.
And now we have Mr. Goatmere, the third podium finisher. Let's bring Bono Goatmere in here.
What's up?
Congratulations on the third place finish. Walk us through your race.
Well, honestly, I didn't expect much since I was coming into the race at reserve, but I did practice a lot throughout the week, and I don't know, it kind of paid off because I qualified well, finished the race well, and yeah.
Yeah, how was having to run the whole race green as well? Usually we don't see that too often. But how, especially at a track like this, how was that? How was managing just your focus and keeping it on track?
I mean, I did have a 3-second time penalty from track limits. I mean, this track can be like on and off with the track limits and stuff, but I was able to keep it on the track for the majority of the race, so that was one thing that went well for me. Say.
Yeah, we had a lot of reserve drivers do well today. Any of you guys looking to make a permanent spot here, take a permanent seat in this league?
I think that will definitely for next season. I definitely want to have a permanent seat. Really enjoyed this league.
Well, it
Alrighty,
was a
man.
pleasure watching you guys
Right.
drive today. Congratulations again on the podium.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
All right.
And I think, Jack, we have Buzzgod, the winner and now leader of Division 3. He is not a reserve. Let's bring in Buzzgod.
Hello.
Hey, Buzzgod. Congratulations on your P1 there. Walk us through your race, man.
There wasn't really anything special, to be honest. There was just, yeah, there was no battles or anything. It was just driving, just trying to get away from Axelize at the start. And then when me and Spinini did, there was literally nothing special. It was quite boring, to be honest. But I mean, I'll take the P1. No, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you're gonna be P1 in the championship now. I mean, yeah, we didn't spend too much time watching you just because you got both Red Bull drivers. You guys were about 20 seconds ahead. So
Yeah.
But I heard you had a little bit of tire wear at the end. How was managing that? How was just managing the track and just trying to keep it clean?
I don't know. We came to the conclusion that because Spinini was on medium traction control, he's probably just better at managing tires, honestly. But he paired one lap after me, and his tires were about 10% better than mine. So mine were on about 55, his were on about like 40. So he was catching me rapidly. And if he didn't have a time penalty, I would have been very scared. But luckily he did. So it was just fun at the end because I knew I was going to get the win anyway.
That's right. And your teammates anyway, and he's a reserve, obviously, for OG, who's had a great season thus far. How did it make you feel getting that pole position and having a 1-2 for the Red Bull in qualifying? That's really where you won this race, isn't it?
Yeah, that was really good because the lap I set was it felt bad. It was meant to be a banker, and then I set it, and it was really good. So I went out once more at the end, and I nearly DNF'd. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I spun off, and I
We
thought I
did.
was
We
to
did see
DNF. Yeah, I proved myself. That was scary, but luckily I didn't, so it was fine.
Yeah, you ended
All
up
right.
not needing that time anyway. So a great drive from you
Yep.
again. You've taken over the top spot in the driver's standings. Are you going to look to lock that down and keep winning race after race here?
Yeah, if I am. Monaco's
Alright.
going to be a bit iffy because, well, Japan was iffy for me, but I practiced and I got really good at it. So hopefully I can do that with Monaco too.
All right. Well, we wish you good luck and congratulations again on a great victory today for yourself and your team.
Thank you. Bye.
Jack, how was that race for you?
Gotta say, I'm mostly pretty surprised that we didn't see a safety car shake things up. But it's always nice to see these things get run green all the way through. But other than that, really great race from everybody. Good job by the ZRL staff to get the race up and running again after we had the little problem at the start. So I think this was a good one.
Absolutely. Heck of a race. I would just like to thank everyone for tuning in. This has been the Zoom Racing League Division 3 action, week 4 of Japan. You've witnessed it here. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Be sure to tune in and don't miss Division 1 and Division 2 tomorrow at 8 Eastern and 10 Eastern. And if you have not liked and subscribed the video, please do so. We appreciate your support. This is Lee Hall. Joined with me is Jack Fletcher as always. We'll see you next week.